Hello vinyl community, this is Randy. Welcome to my channel. This is a contest entry for Jerry at Darkside Vinyl. He's having a contest for getting 100 subscribers. Well, it was supposed to be on the way to 100 subscribers, but he's over that now. And I think it's a $30 gift certificate. And so, might as well, without further ado, let's get into the contest here. Let me get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing here. Tell us how long you have been making videos in the vinyl community. It's probably been about 2 months since I started making videos. I guess that's the answer to that question. What got you started making videos? Well, the first video I saw concerning the vinyl community was from Robert Fithen, and he was talking about different records, and that's pretty interesting because I'm a big vinyl collector and really enjoy music. Then I saw Norman Masloff, Mazzy's channel, and he was doing these whack-a-moles where he's pulling out records and talking about them, and I kept thinking, I think I could do that. Although I might not do it as well because I'm sure I would pull out a record and I would go, who are these guys? Why did I buy this? When did I get this? But anyway, so that's probably the answer to that question. Whose videos do you always try to watch and why? I don't know if we're going to have a why for every one of these. And what do I do with my list? Okay. Some of the people that I watch, I still watch Robert Fithen's and Mazzy's channel because they were the first ones I started watching. Aaron Mutha Alamar, I watch his. He's got a great metal collection. Rachel the Music Ma'am, because she's so complimentary of everyone else. Elliot Cruz, knows a lot about bluegrass and country, which I do as well. Richard McCook, in Northern Ireland, he's got a great collection, big David Bowie fan. Rob Walker, Let the Music Play, goes to the car boot sales, and he says, and other play things. He's always got some interesting things he's picked up. James Griffiths, Randall Weaver, Sean, who keeps changing his channel name, Cosmic Brian, who's always entertaining, Miranda Holter. She has these Tell Me Tuesdays where she talks about and asks for input for different artists. Glenn Calloway in the Basement, big Dylan fan like I am. Chris Prophy, Musically Obsessed. And Chris, I actually have got a Deep Purple album now. I just had a Greatest Hits before. Emma, 8 Vinyl Low. Jeff at Speaker's Corner. Isaac at Blind Island. Fat City Vinyl, it's kind of my reggae connection if I need to know anything about reggae music. 45 RPM audiophile, that's if you need to know information about pressings. And from new music, a couple new alternative music, I go to the Vinyl Douche and Hannah at the Omaha Introvert. Next, Jerry asks, why do I watch his channel? Well, I first discovered your channel through Aaron Mutha Alamar, and when I went to your channel, I saw one of the videos that you were holding a Bruce Springsteen album, and so I said, if you're going to hold Bruce Springsteen or Van Morrison or Bob Dylan, I'm going to watch it. And so I watched it, and you have a nice varied collection, and I enjoy that. And you have a nice, calm manner in which you talk about your records. So, hope that suffices. The next question is, show your top 5 albums or your desert island picks, ones you'll never tire of or never sell. Well, I'm going to cheat a little bit because I'm not going to actually show my top 5 albums. At some time, I think I'm going to show my top 20 albums. But I will show my number 1 album of all time, which I think is the best album of all time, and that's Van Morrison's Astral Weeks. Came out in 68, 69. can't remember for sure. It doesn't show one here. On Warner Brothers. Sorry about that. I got a phone call, but anyway. So Astral Weeks, put this on the first song is the title cut, and the bass by Richard Davis is just mesmerizing. It starts out the album, and Van Morrison singing throughout, and the way he arranges percussion is just amazing. Cypress Avenue is a wonderful song. Sweet Thing is probably the song that got played the most on here. And I just love the song Madam George, which he scats, he gets all, goes up and down in his voice, he does a little of that falsetto stuff, and just a wonderful vocal performance. I mean, he could be singing the phone book and I would probably be mesmerized. But Madam George is just, I think, one of the best songs ever, and this is the best album ever, I think. Van Morrison. Next one I want to show is an album called Special Beat Service. This is by the English Beat, or if you're from Britain, it's just the Beat. They couldn't use that the name the Beat here because I guess there was already a group here. But they introduced a lot of ska into pop music, and the just wonderful Dave Wakeling, the singer, and Ranking Roger, the other singer on here, are just amazing vocalists. And I Confess, Save It for Later, End of the Party with its beautiful piano is just probably one of my favorite songs as well. But, that's the English Beat on IRS Records. Beautiful album. Another one, if you're a fan of rock and roll, then you gotta have one of the beginnings, and that's Elvis and the Sun Sessions. This isn't the Las Vegas stuff from later, which I do enjoy that as well, but this is when he was first getting go. This, you know, it was on RCA. This was early, it was just released a bunch of singles on Sun, and then they collected them on this album here, but you probably all heard That's All Right, Mama. But he also rocks out Bill Monroe's Blue Moon of Kentucky, I'm Left, You're Right, She's Gone, which I think was a Charlie Feather song. He just does wonderful. Mystery Train, I Love You Because, beautiful ballad. He kind of rocks it up. And my favorite song probably of Elvis's is Trying to Get to You. You might have seen him sing that on the comeback special, but I really love the original here. The way he just uses his voice in that early incarnation, which is really, really wonderful. Elvis Sun Sessions. Wouldn't do without that. And I showed you my favorite artist of all time, which is Van Morrison. My favorite band of all time is The Who. And this is, I think, a neglected album, but I just love this, and this is The Who by Numbers. Slip Kid and Squeezebox were the two probably hits off here that got played the most, but However Much I Booze was just a wonderful song. A couple ballads on here that are just marvelous are Imagine a Man and Blue, Red, and Gray. I think Roger sounds wonderful on that. And How Many Friends Have I Really Got is just a great song, I think. And anyway, the whole album is produced by Glenn Johns. Got Nicky Hopkins on piano, did a lot of stuff with the Rolling Stones, but one of my favorite albums is The Who by Numbers. And well, there's another album that actually will be in my top 20, but I have it too. That's Warren Zevon's self-titled debut album on Asylum Records. Southern California guy that had a little bit of macabre writing in his lyrics. especially on the second album, Excitable Boy, where he did the famous Werewolves of London song. But I think this is his best album. And it's got my favorite song of his, which is Desperados Under the Eaves. That everybody needs to hear that song, Desperados Under the Eaves, which is a great song. The French Inhaler is another great one. I think it's about Marilyn Monroe. Hasten Down the Wind and Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me are two songs that many people have covered, including Linda Ronstadt. His tale of Frank and Jesse James, I think, is just wonderful. Muhammad's Radio, all these songs. Carmelita, that heroin abuse, just a wonderful album. Warren Zevon's song. Next question is, how long have you been collecting records? Well, it's probably been since the 80s, off and on. Actually, probably late 70s to the late 80s, I was collecting records. And then I started collecting CDs, although I would still collect some records that I thought would never be on CD, or I didn't think the CD sounded good. A lot of times when they would go back and reissue albums from the 70s, it sounded terrible on CD. And how I started collecting was I bought this book here, the Rolling Stone Record Guide. I thought I would expand my horizons, so I started buying some of the 5- and 4-star albums in here. This is actually my second copy that I've also worn out. I think the original copy was like red. But I started buying the 4- and 5-star albums in here from people that sounded interesting, and it just expanded my horizons on music and picked up a lot of great music through this. And this is probably what kind of started my music collecting in a way. Okay. Show your 100th album. My 100th album, I went through my records, and my 100th album is In the Bees. And if you like blues, if you like soul, well, this is the best of both worlds. You can have Bobby Bland. This is Ain't Nothing You Can Do, which was my 100th album. Like, just counted from alphabetical order from the A's, and this is where it landed. This was on MCA. And Bobby Bland was a great blues and soul artist. He had kind of unique, this raspy voice that was, it was really expressive. Two Steps from the Blues is probably my favorite album of his, and The Soul of the Man, I think, maybe second. But it's probably about third on my list. But I think everybody needs to have some Bobby Bland. It's been called the Black Sinatra because of how smooth he sings. But he also gets really bluesy in some songs, like I'm Gonna Cry, Black Knight. And he started out kind of as a chauffeur for B.B. King, but then became a great artist in his own right. Bobby Bland and Ain't Nothing You Can Do. Okay. Who is your comfort artist? One you know that one you can turn to and never disappoint. One that always puts a smile on your face. So the artist I picked was Mink Deville. This was actually kind of what they called the band. Willie DeVille was the band leader. Later on, he just went by Willie DeVille. But he has another kind of a raspy voice from smoking, because if you've ever seen him on any video, he's smoking all the time while he's singing. Gets that puff out right before he gets up to the microphone and starts singing again. But he's got some great rockers. Spanish Stroll is great. Cadillac Walk. And he can also do some wonderful ballads, which is like Mixed Up, Shook Up Girl. And She's So Tough. But anyway, just just a wonderful album, and any of his albums are really good. Is Mink Deville or Willie DeVille, as he went by later. Next is your favorite concert memory, and that would have to be this guy, Bruce Springsteen. I first saw him, I think it was the Born in the USA tour, and I could not believe the rapport he had with the audience. It was just a wonderful experience, and of course he plays 3 hours plus usually with no opening act. And what was really special, and so I've seen him several times now, and he always kind of does a little bit of the same thing at the end. And he plays the last song, and they all go off, and then everybody's trying to get him back for the encore. Usually when he comes back on for the encore, all the lights go up in the arena, and he goes right into Born to Run. And it's just a wonderful concert experience. And also on this one is when he sang Santa Claus is Coming to Town, which they used in for the holiday recording. At least that's the one we heard in Kansas City. I don't know if it changed in different venues, if they used a different recording of it, but wonderful artist, and probably my best concert experience. And last, show a 45 or 10-inch album you enjoy. Well, I'm just going to pick one 45, and this is Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. This is Little Red Riding Hood. It's just a wonderful, garagey pop song that's, I think most people would enjoy. I think a lot of people know Wooly Bully by Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. This is another great song, but to describe them would be like if the Animals became a garage rock group that played a lot of novelty songs, they'd sound a little bit like Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs. Anyway, that's my entry. Congratulations, Jerry, on getting 100 subscribers. And you've got a wonderful channel. I hope everyone subscribes to it. And everybody take care. Thank you.